I didn't really sort of imagine it was going to be a big series. I just thought I'd start and see where I, went from there. It started with a conversation with my neighbour. She'd recently joined a poetry group with John Stammers, and she'd sort of told me about the poetry readings in pubs, and it just sounded like a really interesting place to start. I had a kind of preconception about poets and poetry being a bit inaccessible, kind of academics, and slightly intimidating. And so there was a part of me that wanted to find out why I felt like this. It's the way I approach a lot of my work, I guess, wanting to know or understand a little bit more about something I don't know a lot about. For this project particularly, the locations were really important because they came from the sitters. I'd asked them all where they wanted to be photographed and what was a place that was special to them or their work. Most people had a special place, but some I photographed in their sort of offices, their studios. Sometimes the places that people chose weren't terribly visual, so that was quite difficult to sort of make things work, in a kind of very unvisual place. But mostly they were in really lovely locations. I try really hard not to have a vision of how a picture should be, because they're mostly always obstacles like weather or the location. I spend a lot of time talking to people, trying to get an understanding of the person. It's difficult in such a short time because normally you don't have a long time to photograph someone. But ultimately, I want to make them feel relaxed and comfortable with me photographing them. I almost prefer not to know too much about my subjects. In a way, it keeps us on a level. I don't want to interpret too much of what I know about them into the picture. I'd rather it came from them. My favourite poem, it's actually a bush ballad, really. I was made to learn it by heart at school, and I remember it really clearly. It's by Dorothy McKellar. And the reason I love it so much is it begins with a contrast of the English landscape with a rough, rugged Australian landscape. And I love living in London, but the thing I missed most about Australia, other than my family, is the feeling of the vast landscape that you don't get in the sort of polite, green, grey English countryside. And this poem really expresses that in a very simple verse. I think there are quite a number of similarities between photography and poetry. It's like any art form, it's an expression of emotion and an understanding of the world, and they're both composed and have spontaneous moments in them.